Now, this is what I like to hear. And I told you, I knew it. Now, get ready for big activities over this next year or two. I'm telling you, in order to pull this off, and they can, in order to pull this off, they're going to have to hit the ground running, which means what? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you what I'm referencing in a moment. That means that they would have to come out with one big announcement after another. Why? Because they would necessarily have to have one big partnership after another. They have to have so many big partnerships in their back pocket or lined up in order to pull this off. It should be mind blowing. Now, listen to what he has to say. Wait, it says it. And yes, this is an exciting moment. In an interview with Fox Business host Maria Bartiromo, Garlinghouse said he was confident that Ripple would become a viable rival to Swift over time. Now, there's so many thoughts that come to mind when I read something like that, because they could definitely outdo Swift. That's number one. Swift has not caught up with them technologically speaking as of now. I think Ripple knew they had Swift when Swift had to crawl on their knees to Chainlink. Right. And even with that integration, they haven't caught up. Swift said that they would be willing to work with 4 other companies. They never said who. At least I never heard of it. I didn't hear them update that. Did you? I think they knew they had them then. But I also believe, and don't worry, he says more, but we'll get to that. I also believe that this could be a bit of a negotiating tactic in the future. I do. If Ripple gets into a position where they're taking a lot of business away from Swift at some point, Ripple's dominating, XRP's dominating, and that's almost like a self-feeding loop, where if Ripple dominates, XRP's price goes up. Now they can use some of the value from XRP to boost business some more. Then that boost of business results in XRP price going up a little bit more. It's a self-feeding loop. I just don't see how Swift is going to be able to rival that when, once again, keep in mind, Swift no longer has the global reach they used to have. They don't. No one's forgotten how Swift was used as a weapon by the United States, and it could be used like that again in the future. Don't let the current energies fool you. That can happen again in the future. Who knows what the future holds? So I don't think most countries are going to take that chance. That's why most of the countries are looking for a Swift alternative. And now that crypto's been unleashed, DLT's been unleashed, Ripple and XRP are being unleashed, they can easily turn towards Ripple because Ripple has already shaken hands in the main region. They have partnerships. US, they have partnerships. Japan, they have partnerships. They have partnerships everywhere. They have partnerships in China. And if not partnerships, they've shaken hands and they've definitely had projects there in these various places. So I do believe that at some point, and you tell me if you think different, but at some point, maybe they pressure Swift so much that Swift has to congeal with them. They have to work with them. They shake hands with Swift and Swift comes and works with Ripple. I felt that for years that's possible. I do. Once again, look at, they had to go to Chainlink. Come on now. They had to go to Chainlink. And don't get me wrong, I'm super bullish on Chainlink, but I think Swift will at some point will work with Ripple. Now, here's the important part. We had to say all that to get here because he says more. And this shows you he's hyper aware of the opportunity at hand. He argued, Garlinghouse, he argued that Swift has been around for over 50 years and that its technology is due for disruption. I told you, and I beg your pardon for clearing my throat, but they haven't caught up yet. And I said this. I looked at what they were doing with some of their updates. I looked at what they've done, even with Chainlink. Chainlink is a phenomenal company. They haven't caught up with Ripple where Ripple can't dominate them. Has Swift tried? Yes, they've tried. Have they inched forward? Yes, but they're going to, in my humble opinion, not financial advice, they're going to get absolutely dominated. And it's not just Ripple. Remember, Ripple has a relationship with Hedera. Did they ever come out? Is this not suspicious? Does this not sort of make your mind, work a little bit? Pardon me, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Ripple has a relationship with Hedera. Lehman, Baird, and Garlinghouse said that they may work together on a project in the future. What was that project? You have two of the most dominant DLT companies, technologically speaking, on the planet. Two of the hungriest. They've both been active. Have you seen how active Hedera has been the last year and a half? What they've been doing? What was that project they were going to work on? Should I not consider the possibility of what I've been stating for a few years now? I've said this, that maybe Ripple comes together with Hedera. Why is Cardano another powerful chain? Why does Charles Hoskinson have this great relationship with Ripple all of a sudden? Should I not be thinking that maybe Ripple comes together with Hedera and they come together with Cardano? Then what was that relationship that Ripple was talking about with Chainlink? Because I don't remember. I don't recall. That's a possibility. Maybe they all come together because they see the opportunity. They form Voltron. They congeal. They conglomerate and dominate because they know they can. Now, I think Ripple alone with XRP and XRPL could do it. I do. And don't worry, that there's more here. There's more. We're going to get to that. Fantastic day of news, by the way. But if they all came together, that's as close as to a guarantee anyone's going to get. The DLT, the price of these protocol today, these crypto today will not be what it is in the future. Not even close. No one will be able to compete with them if they all came together. And I would keep an eye on that. I really, really would. They all do something different. Those different pieces fit together perfectly. And they create a continuity that is near unbreakable when it comes to data and movement of value. Well, wait. Then he says this. Look at this. Swift, they're continuing with what Garlinghouse is saying. Swift, which handles over $150 trillion annually, folks. This is what I'm talking about. I was just talking about the capital from cross-border and B2B trillions. Look at this. This is who we're competing with. Even if you take a piece of $150 trillion, a piece, and it would be a significant piece because you look at all these different companies that have shown interest in utilizing the technology of Ripple, Hedera, Chainlink, Solana, any of these bank coin companies. They could take a significant chunk of that. 150 trillion. You mean to tell me you don't believe we could take $1 trillion? Come on now. Our technology is better than theirs. We haven't crossed anybody. We haven't stepped on anybody. Over here in crypto and DLT, Swift has. Everybody's ready for something other than Swift. I could go down a laundry list of different Swift alternatives everyone's been working on. And now it's finally time. The only thing held everything back from just washing Swift, flooding the world with this new technology is just the regulations and legislation, which now is being undone. All those blockades are being undone. So what's going to hold us back from taking a piece of that 150 trillion annually? We do it better. We do it faster. We're more transparent. We give the people and the companies everything they need. What is stopping us from taking that? In the future, of course, we still have a few more steps to go. Nothing. I don't see anything. What? Not right now. Not right now. Maybe in the future, we re-examine some things as the energies may change once more. That's possible, sure. But let's focus on right now. Swift, which handles over $150 trillion annually. They're being nice. It says they're often slow and time consuming, but they're being nice because they also didn't say that Swift also is a weapon. They could have said that. They didn't. And see, and that's the one thing. Oh, you want to be a rival? See, I'm not beyond Ripple holding some cards back. I'm not beyond thinking Ripple might be setting, things up on the chessboard for the future. Because why wouldn't you, if you're really a rival to Swift and you really wanted to take them down, why wouldn't you mention that? How they've been weaponized against a lot of entities around the world and how those entities no longer want to use a system like Swift. Why would you not use that? What would you be saving that ace up your sleeve for? But you may not say something like that if you want to keep the door open for working with them. You don't want to offend them. You don't want to injure them so badly that they're beyond their utility. They're beyond serving a purpose. You don't want to absolutely destroy them. You just want to bring them to their knees where they must come to the table and negotiate. I'm telling you, folks, keep your eyes open. It's just my humble opinion. But he knows the opportunity is there. Now, I want to put something else out there. Now, Swift, when we read that document that time, and it was from Swift, okay? Most of you know that, but we have a lot of new people here. And they were saying how they would possibly work with it was either 4 or 5. Some of you know better than I do. You probably remember. You probably have that document still saved. I'm just not going to be, I'm not right now. I'm just going off the top of my head. I haven't gone into the files to pull that back up. But what if, when they said they will work with 4 to 5 more companies, what if they didn't actually decide on that as of yet? Like they actually haven't done that yet. I mean, I'm just playing with thoughts here. And what if? I know, all what ifs, but this is brainstorming. What if Ripple could fill that gap? There's a lot of things Chainlink can do, but clearly there's a lot that they can't do as well. That's why Swift said 4 to 5, something like that. It was something like that, akin to that. Ripple may know that. I'm quite sure they heard that. I'm quite sure they read that document. There's no way that I would believe that they didn't. So they know. See, when Swift said that, they showed weakness. When Swift said that, they showed that they're on the market for more partners. You don't always have to appear that you're going to be a partner in the future. You don't. Even though you may be a partner in the future. So this may be what Ripple is doing. They know that they have the possibility of working with Swift. Maybe Swift congeals with them. I mean, like I said, I'm just playing with thoughts, folks. But this is all on the table as of now. This is while transaction speeds have improved. See, I did acknowledge that too. I said that also. They've inched forward, mostly because of Chainlink. They've inched forward. But like they said, it has improved. It is still common for Swift transfers to take days to complete. They never received the magic key. DLT companies did that on purpose, in my humble opinion. They did it on purpose. I told you. So they gave them just enough to get to the door, so to speak, but they can't open the door. They need the golden key, and they can only utilize the golden key to go through that door to the new age, to survive, to thrive into the future and not get crushed by these new technologies by working with the Bankcoin companies. All right. So now I don't know how long this video is now. Wow. There was so much news today, folks. I'm going to, I think we took a little bit of good time on the XRP and the Bankcoin information. I probably should go straight to this Bitcoin news, because then if we get through the Bitcoin news, there's some Solana news. Oh, I told people, get ready. I told people, not get ready, but I told people I believe in Solana. What you do is up to you, not financial advice, but I believe in Solana, and apparently some big dogs do as well. Now, Bitcoin holds gains amid rising BTC ETF net flows. Now, it says here, Bitcoin's renewed strength. It always bounces back. The catalysts are too big. It's too potent. Everybody wants a piece. Just continue to watch that. Continue to watch that energy. It goes down, it bounces back. It goes down, it bounces back. That's a great sign. Resilience. And from there, if it continuously is bouncing back and is staying at a relatively respectful price, that means that the liftoff next time could be that much more potent. You know why? And this is merely one aspect, but people are noticing the strength of it. And that causes them, or could cause them, to believe more and more. So maybe they hold a little bit longer. And when I say people, I mean it's regular people, retail, as well as businesses. All of them start to believe a little bit more. They hold a little bit longer, maybe. And that makes the price build up a little higher each time. Every time it goes a little bit higher, it gets a little bit more solid. When it does go to a low, it's a higher low, maybe. Right? It's much higher now than it was in a bloody bear market, isn't it? Right. So when liftoff does commence, it could go to a much higher level than what we've seen before. Hence, all of these people in the last week and a half calling, what have they been saying? Well, it'll smash through 115,000 easy, 120,000 easy, 125,000 easy. Why are they saying that right now? And clearly that's just for starters, because we've heard those same people with their high prices. We heard their high prices, $500,000, $700,000 Bitcoin. But now they're saying 115, 120, it'll smash through those, because that's just the baby steps. That's just the first steps that they're looking at. But what's making them feel so confident? Right. Those positive catalysts are so powerful. That's what's making them say that. And they're seeing activity like this. Let's scroll down here and see a little bit more. Bitcoin, which is, if this is accurate, all right, obviously the price is probably going to change by the time this video is released. 88,035. It was $35 now in the green. It says price opened the week with strength, rallying to a daily high of $88,804, which was met by praise from analysts who identified the $90,000 to $92,000 zone as the key price level to hit in the short term. You know what it is? That's been causing me, and I realized this as I was looking through a camera. It's been causing me to like kind of cough, and it's the pollen. The pollen is coming out heavy. I have bushes like all along this. It's like a big window here and here. And my bushes are out there. Those are the bushes that all the cardinals and the birds and the red robins are all tweeting sometimes in the video, sometimes fighting. And yeah, that pollen has been serious. Is it a little early for that? Does it seem like a little early for the pollen? You know, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of strange things. I believe just the seasons seem like it's hitting a little bit earlier. Just my humble opinion. Let's get back to the back to the crypto. Proof of the market's positive response to a lot of the. Listen, there's a lot of catalysts going on. You know, they're talking about all these activities. I don't think people understand a lot of these activities. If you're talking about, which is my humble opinion, all right, you're talking about these geopolitical situations where they're pressuring each other. This one does this, that one does that. The problem is that the reporting on it from the mainstream media is very lopsided. But I think a lot of what's going on where this country's pressuring that country, and is little is it said that country has already been pressuring this country. You know what I'm talking about. Those economic things always cancel each other out. They do the same thing. It usually balances itself out. And all of the bravado that people speak with, it's just that. It's just all for show. They all get to a table, they all shake hands, they all negotiate after a while. That's how it typically goes. Hey, if you disagree, to each his own. But Bitcoin, it continues to look good. It says, is a rally to 100K back on the cards? What? Listen, I'm long. I have to be careful how I say. I'm not saying I'm long term. As I sound with Bitcoin, I'm not long term with Bitcoin. But if you're going to say over the next 2 to 3 years, sure. Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is going to be lovely over the next 2-3 years. That's long term for me. When it comes to Bitcoin, but there's others who are long term, like they're permanent. That's different. That's why I don't have a different nomenclature to put to that right now, but I think you can understand what I'm saying. But looking at it like that, 100,000 definitely is on the table. 120,000 is on the table, in my opinion. 150,000 is on the table, in my opinion. And we don't know how fast it's going to go there, because Bitcoin moves quickly. When it's ready to move, it moves quickly. And with the catalysts that are on the table, and I think that it's going to be clear this time around, once you start seeing some of these catalysts actuate, I think it's going to be clear that it's going to move very powerfully. Now, what people are not paying a lot of attention to, who are focused on Bitcoin, I know, because like I said, I talk to these people out in the real world, and they're just like, Bitcoin. For those who know, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of people. A lot of people into gold. They're into, other stuff. But those who are into Bitcoin are only just lasered in on Bitcoin. It's like, wait a minute. When Bitcoin moves, these altcoins are going to move. you know. But I'm keeping my eye on that as well. But I think it has a huge possibility of taking off and going way further than where it went before. To simplify it. All right, so now, and I don't want to make this too long. I'm not sure how long this video is now. You see, it just seems like when my videos get over 25 minutes, it's the algorithm, folks. The algorithm of YouTube, they're constantly changing it. According to them, I don't know if you believe what they say, but it changes. And the algorithm, for at least, it's different for each channel, how they treat each channel. It depends, right? This is what I've gathered. But for my channel, that algorithm does not like it when I go over like 26 minutes. It does not like that. It's also sensitive to thumbnails, right? So it's hard to explain, but maybe I'll talk about that another time. But let's go here. I had a Solana article. Is this it? Oh, and I skipped a very, very potent Bitcoin article, but I'll put that in the members only section. I have a couple I need to put in the members only section. Look at those posts that I'm making. Those articles been potent, folks. And I have another one, not that Bitcoin one. I have another one I'm going to post. But look at this. Exclusive. BlackRock expands blockchain-based money market to Solana. I'm telling you, they want Solana. They know it's potent. They've been, I mean, that's not just BlackRock. It's been a lot of companies. You don't find that suspicious? You don't think that that's something? That have been talking bullish about Solana for the last 2.5 years or so? That's leading to something. They have plans for it. And when you boil it down, in my humble opinion, those plans equal to Solana's price skyrocketing at some point. It says, in tie up with startup Securitize. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, continues to expand its crypto footprint. On Tuesday, the firm's technology partner Securitize announced that BlackRock is adding its blockchain-based money market fund to Solana. There you have it, folks. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.